So you can make like, this is called, the Japanese call it a puka. You can just make a foil. Put it together and just make an angle like that with the thumbs. And then it fits in there to keep it from flattening. You're not going to move it. So, kind of just have it wedged, and kind of like, just kind of, make, just looking at it makes some weird shape, like that. And that's it! Isn't it great?
Isn't that amazing?
Well, is that an example over there that we should bring up?
So then I take this, I kind of beat it a little bit. Then you take, I have a coconut that I sanded. That took me 5 years. No, what I do is I put sand, you can get fine white beach sand, or you can use grog or anything, and you fill this up with sand, and then the pots are really, really stable in here. And that's what I have over there. No, I don't put the grog in until it's fired. So I fire it like this, and the sand is just like I would sell these little bag of sand. You know, but you know, for the longest time, when I was doing these, I was just doing this, and it took me a half a year to figure this out. I knew I was close, so I would do this. I'd make a ball, and then I'd punch it down a little bit, and then I would hit it. So I had the basic idea for a long time, but I kept using a ball. So what would happen is, see, they're too round, and I don't like them. When I really misshapen it, I don't know, it took me 6 months, but it did. They were much more, this is what I want. So the process, you know, sometimes can take a long time for something really easy. So the brown ball, just put it the same way. How are we doing on time?
How much time you need?
10 minutes.
You got it.
Oh, yeah, we're fine. Do you put a pinhole in there?
Yeah, I do. Exactly, I do.
But the air inside helps it retain its shape.
Right. That's because when I couldn't, if there was a hole in it, if I went with that with the rib, it would just collapse without the air. Or when you see me when I paddle these in a second. I don't know if anybody else that is doing this or not.
I love clothes forms.
I love frocks.
My car, I do like these.
Yeah, those are lovely. Yeah. They're rough and raccoon.
And you can make this shape. You don't have to have a round. You can make it. You know, there's 3 different shapes I do. I actually throw them more like that, or throw them, you know, a shape like that, more taller. So those, and I get, so you get really a lot of different shapes out of those 3 forms. Now watch what you do. Well, first thing I'll do is I'll paddle it just to get the, I'm going to kind of keep it a circle. It's like, you know, when you make a snowball, you keep turning it. So I'm kind of doing that. I'm not, I just want to get all the throwing lights out of it. And so when I pile them, I'll flip them and then wait 3 hours, 4 hours. It's a little, oh yeah. When it's too wet like this, it can crack. And then also, it's hard for me to get a shape, but we don't have 3 hours. Okay, so now, it's really, I've gotten all the lines out of it. So you do one thing, take a look at it, try to get some ideas. Because each different pattern will give you a different curve. So I didn't pre-throw any of those triangle plates, but they foot just like. I mean, this is off too, and you just put it upside down, and it's fairly level. I mean, because those points are the same height, so they're not hard to foot. And actually, you don't want the foot to be perfect on these because the plates aren't perfect. So you don't want that would be a flash. So you'll see me loosen the foot up by moving my hand. So when I foot, the first thing I'm thinking of is the width I want on the plate right here. That's all I think about, and I just go right to that. Immediately trim to that. And then you just want to, again, rough trim, just a straight diagonal. So do you know about topping? I mean, I'm topping, people say it's for the sound. I don't go by sound. I'm just kind of tapping hard, and it's not giving it all, so I know it's really thick, so I can take more off. It's just, when it starts to give, that's when I stop. So I'll tap after each time. Yeah, so it's giving now, so I really can't take much more off. I'll just take enough just to get the grooves out. So now, because what I do now is I can go straight down from here to that level there, and I'm not going to go through the clay because it's a curve. If anything, I can go more. So I go the same distance down, and then I look at this hump here, and I can just take that out. So if you see, the thing is, if you do this first, you're guessing about how deep you can go. This way, you're not guessing. what is.
Yes.
Yeah, if you
Because
don't,
I do
yeah,
it just.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's a big hit, you're right. So when I move my tool back and forth like that, because I want a thick to thin line going around the foot to match the. All right, this clay's a little. I would never put the pot this wet, but you know. So there was this time for 7 years where I was doing pots part-time in the 70s, and I was working for my father in a manufacturing plant in New York. And being a manufacturing plant in food, there's just, you know, we're buying truckloads of salt and truckloads of this, and there's just a lot of checks. There's a lot of, you know, payroll and just checks to pay. So I'm signing like 200 checks a week. And so in the beginning, I'm going really slow, signing my name, and after like 10 signatures, I said, this is stupid. So I said, let me do John Hancock and have some fun with my signature. So after 7 years, imagine how many checks I signed, tens of thousands of checks. So I got really fluid. I got really fluid with my arm, signing my name. So after I left my father and started doing pots full time, my pot, first, you know, I'm throwing symmetrically, and my signature is really tight, and I'm signing gold. And then when my pot started becoming asymmetrical, that tight name didn't fit my pot, so I stopped signing my name for a year. And then I thought, why don't I do that same gestural thing I did with my father? So I do this. So I think of gold, and it's the G is bold, and then I kind of get, for the O and the L, I kind of ease up, and then I go, for the D, I go bold. I think bold, subtle, bold. So, and then I put the O in. Now the O works as the O, and then abstractly it's also the D. And so when I look at that mark, it's kind of nice. This is calligraphy. But when you turn it this way, it's in a horizon, sun, and a cloud. So a lot of times when I sign my pots, like, so again, to go over that footing technique, first determine the width for your pot. You just not worry about anything except the width. That's all you're looking at. What took me 3 seconds to determine the width. Then I'll just, I'll just take off some, just take off some clay there. I know I'm going to cut off more. Just rough it out. And then do that inside. So again, I just go straight down. I have a nice high foot there. It's going to be great. So again, that beginning, I can just, without even looking, I just trim that just to get it close. Now, if you're looking, everybody that most people I see foot from here, their heads are here, and you might as well just shut your eyes because you're putting blind. To see, you have to bend all the way down here because you have to look at the silhouette of this curve. And I mean, that's why I have a bad back, but you can get good pots this way. I have, but I feel disconnected from the pot. I used it for a while, and it's better than not having, you know. But I like leaning. So if you lean over, I'm looking at. So what I'm doing is, well, first I'm going to do that curve thing where I'm going like that to create that strong line there that's moving. And then I'm going to look at. So now I'm going to look at this curve here, make a nice curve, and I can see that. See, I can't see the curve. I just can't see it. Now I can see it, and I see there's way too much clay right here. So I'll just take it off right there. Just cut where you have to cut, and make the curve, and just cut. When I close one eye, and I'm just making a nice curve here. And that's it. I could not do that from here. Couldn't do it. In a million years, I couldn't get it. But then I'll shape, then you have to deal with the shape of this foot here. I kind of like a half round shape to go with the bowl. Again, I keep it loose because I want asymmetrical. You know, so I get it going slow and I'm moving my finger to make that foot asymmetrical. So you can see that foot. It's different. Subtle.
Better that.
But again, the silhouettes are different, subtly. And again, that fluid line. But I had to leave a little extra clay there. In the beginning I didn't, I would go through. But I left a little extra clay right here. So I could dig in and make that curve so it's smooth. Not static. That's a good one. That's a good one. But you have that nice curve on the inside in these bowls. Feel really good. I mean, putting the T-ball is just like I footed the ball. I mean, there's nothing different at all. Actually.
Well, and you need
That water.
Is there any questions at all? What I'm doing? What?
It's fun to
Yes.
watch.
I can't wait to work.
Yeah.
And again, you know, with the asymmetry, you know, it's not important that you do it. It may not be for you, but just in appreciating pots, because a lot of people are working this way, and if you can appreciate them and maybe own a couple, and if you like them, this may not be the way you like to work, and that's cool, you know. But again, it's just being aware that there's a history of these kind of pots. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.